Greetings, Ian from RTO here. Welcome to Battle of the Debuts. And it's the last of the power metal battles. And today we're going to, it's a battle between two Scandinavian countries, Norway and Sweden, I believe. I'll just check on that. I'm sure they're from Sweden. Yes, they are. So it's Norway versus Sweden today. Two countries are very prolific in power metal and progressive metal. So the first band up is a band called Pagans Mind. Now we have already ranked their albums. They're a sort of little known band, but very popular in Scandinavia, and they've released 5 studio albums, and the current lineup is the original lineup. So the band consists of Nils K. Ruan lead vocals, Jorn Viggo Lostad on guitar, Thorstein Abbey on guitar, Stena Krokmo on bass, and Stein Kristofferson on drums, and Ronnie Tenga on keyboards. They were founded in a place called Skien in Norway, and they were a leftover from a band that's members of a band called Silver Spoon that Nils, Thorson and Stein were in, and they released their debut album in 2000, and it's called Infinity Divine. It's a really good album. I discovered these by a friend of mine. She got me into these because she loves power metal. I'll mention her name. Her name's Catherine, good friend of mine. We both love music, and we spent a lot of time listening to some really good music, and this is one of the bands she introduced me to. So we have got the first thing, like most power metal bands, we have a little intro, and this is called Prelude to Paganism. It's eerie, it's just mystical, it's just everything you expect from a power metal. And then you go straight into the next track, which is called Caught in a Dream. What an opening riff this is. Blast your ears out or what. It's got that lovely double bass drum sound. Now this Nils is a great singer. He's got this really aggressive sort of voice. Really good track to open up the album. Then we have the title track, which is called Infinity Divine. Real fast racker here. It's got a lovely keyboard running here from Ronnie. It's just absolutely amazing, and it gives that define Norwegian Scandinavian sound that I love. Then we get a track called Embracing Fear. This has got a typical sort of keyboard start to power metal. In comes the rest of the band, heavy riffs, shredding, it's all there. It's just a fantastic track. My favourite track comes next, and it's called Astral Projection. It's got the best guitar solo, and it's both the guitar players really sort of going off on each other, trying to outdo each other. It's great work from Jorn and Thorstein. Very clever work, and it's a great track. Then we get Angel's Serenity, a very good track again. It's that bass line comes through in the drums. It's really good. Then we get the Dawning of Nemesis. Now this is a slower sort of track. It's a great vocal from Nils. It's probably his best on the album. It is an absolutely dynamite vocal. King's Quest, another great prog track, prog metal track. It's just really good. Lots of intricate guitars and keyboards, fantastic. Twilight Arise, great drumming on this. Got that real sort of sound. Riffs are good, a solo. Great vocals as usual. And then the last track is called A New Beginning. Very solid track to end the album. Thunderous power metal at its best. Well, what do I think of this album? Really good debut album. The rest of the albums are fantastic as well. I love this band. Nils's vocals are really good. But this is in their beginnings, and that they did. I mean, as much as this is great, they did develop it more as time went on, and they're an absolute sound great live. I just think it's very melodic, and I do play this album quite a lot. It was the one I was introduced to by my good friend, so it's a very special place for me. Unfortunately, nothing written about it. It didn't do anything over here. It's just they're sort of a band that they've released 5 albums and they've been very popular, but it's a band that never really reached the world. Hence why I'm doing more on them, because they are worthy of it. So we're going to go straight into nuts and bolts on this one. Song quality. It's the quality of songwriting is good. Very Nordic and mystic vocals, which they continue on with through their career. So I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Production, as with all power metal, progressive metal albums, the production on it is fantastic. It's crisp, it's clear, it's really, really good. So I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Reception. Unless you live in Norway and out that way, it doesn't reach the rest of the world. I'd love to know how Catherine came about this band. I've never really asked her. I might have to send her a message. Where did you find these? But they are really, really good. But the rest of the world don't really catch on, so I'm going to have to give that a 2 out of 5. Cover design. Now, as with most Pagan Minds covers, they have fantastic pieces of art. I love this one. I love the piercing eyes, and the white of the eyes really draws you into this cover. This is great, but the others just got better and better. But I just love this cover. There's just something about it. So I'm going to give that a 5 out of 5. So for Pagan Minds Infinity Divine gives us a grand total of 15 out of 20. So let's move on to the next band representing Sweden. Another band that Catherine brought me to my attention. This was about my friend Catherine today. But she has put me onto a lot of good bands, so I thank her for that. This band are called Cloudscape. Again, we've ranked their albums, and they're from Helensburgh in Sweden, and they were formed in 2001 by the lead singer Mike Anderson, Bjorn Eliasson on guitar, Patrick Savard guitar, Haynes Pearson bass, and Roger Landin on drums. Like most bands, they work hard, and then they finally got a record contract in 2002, and then they released their debut self-titled album in 2004. So it's Mike Anderson lead vocals and backing vocals, Bjorn Eliasson on guitars, Patrick Savard on guitars, Haynes Pearson on bass and backing vocals, and Roger Landin on the drums. So track 1 is As the Light Leads the Way. No intros, just bang, straight in with some riffs. Mike Anderson is a great singer. It is really powerful. It's got the right tone for power metal. Solid track. Really like that one. Under Fire, one of my favourites on this album. It's got the keyboards at the start, just draws you in, and the melodic guitar melody on this is fantastic. Throw in a great vocal from Mike. A really strong track again. Then we get Aqua 275, my favourite track on here. It's that chorus, mellow lit verses, heavy chorus. That mixture really works. Some great guitar work on that one. Then we get Witching Hour. This is Haynes on the keyboards. Sharp, rolling, dynamite riffs from both guitarists. That sound is just something else. It really sounds good under the headphones, that one. In These Walls, it's just classic progressive metal, intricate guitars, a great bass line here. Very, very good. Then we've got Out in the Shadows. The drumming on this is just brilliant. It's got that lovely rolling double bass drum, a great solo, lots of shredding in this. Now, the next one, Every Day's Up to You. It starts off with a dancing keyboard, and you go, "Ooh, what's this coming in?" But after that sort of thing, you get this bang. It's a great rocker, heavy riffs, a great vocal from Mike. Really like this. Dawn of Fury, another solid riffs in this, just a solid track. Slave, now this is quite a dark and deep song, interesting vocal on it as well. It's a very dark song, Slave is, and it's got some great dirty riffs, as I call them. Great track. The Presence of Spirits, the bass line drives you in, it drives this song along. It's a really good track. Then we get Scream, a great melody. The keyboard on this just gives it that extra depth. Fantastic little track. And the last track is called Losing Faith. The guitar work all through this is amazing. It's you listen to it under the headphones and you just memorise by how clinical it is. Very, very good track to end the album. And what do I think of this? A very good debut album. Again, a band that sort of got better and better as time went on. Some very strong songs on this again. I think what makes this album really good is the interplay between the two guitarists, Bjorn and Patrick, and the underrated singer Mike Anderson. The keyboard's a little bit different in Cloudscape to the rest of the power metal genre, and it gives it its unique sound. It's just a great album. Once again, not much written about it. Unfortunately, but hence why I've done this today, to just really go and get you guys that like power metal into this these two bands. So let's go straight to nuts and bolts. Song quality, again, very good songs. Can't fault them really. Some very dark matter they're singing about, but they give it a little bit of light. So I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Production, wonderful production. You know, there's no hairs and graces with power metal. Plug in, go, and away we go. So I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Reception, once again, unless you're really into this genre, you've probably never heard of this band. I don't think they've ever really hit it off here in the UK. So I'm going to give that another 2 out of 5. Cover design. Right, the picture is stunning, but there's just too much purple going on. You can't pick anything out. I love the concept of the cover, but a little bit more other colour in there would have made it better. Their other covers are very similar. They all seem to be stuck on one colour theme. It's just different shades, which is a shame because I think covers need to be bright and draw you in. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. So for Cloudscape, Cloudscape gives us a total of 13 out of 20. Oh, both very good albums. On paper it was a one for Pagans mine, but that only swung really by the cover concept. But when it comes to the music, I think the songs, Pagans Mine songs, are a little bit stronger by about that much. There's not much between the vocalists. But what really will swing this today is that unique keyboard in Cloudscape. They incorporated different sounds. Even that little dancey bit at the beginning, you don't hear that. And it's a little, it may be a little bit poppy, but it works with what they're doing. So I'm going to give this one to Cloudscape by a smidge. I love both albums, but when it comes down to it, I think Cloudscape tried something different and it worked. So, you know, respect to them. Okay, it's up to you now. I'll put a few tracks in the playlist, but I'll also put the links, some links in, so you can go and listen to the full album for yourselves, and then hopefully you will be like me. So yeah, thank you to Catherine for getting me into these two bands. Okay, we got a real metal theme all day today, because next up is Pick and Mix, and it's mixing it up, and we're going to look at the producer Andy Sneap, who's produced some great metal albums. So I'll be looking at his career, and then I'll pick my top 5 albums that Andy Sneap has produced. So we'll see you for that later. Bye for now.